Eh, not exactly a Christmassy kind of music, is it? But hopefully, what I've got in the background will make up for the lack of that.
Well, shall we leave?
Why should we leave now? The worst part's over.
Makes that work, doesn't it? Alright, let's see. Arts. Yeah. Well, hopefully. I'll take a moment, I guess, to readjust this just a touch. Yeah, the worst part about my stream, the opening music. Alright. Music's not too loud, I hope. Found a quiet Christmas carol playlist. Yep. How's it going, Kitsu? Nope. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. Well, like I said, was planning on doing this, Red Gobbo at some point. Figured tonight was a... Doing good. I got a game coming up. Ooh, very nice. Good luck to you on that. I've got D&D later tonight as well. Figured I would use this time that I'm waiting for that to start to do something a little bit more productive. But anyway, as you can notice, I've already got the mini primed. I decided to go for a Wraithbone. Dorks, I mean dwarves. Ha! Yep, I get you. Alright, so let's see. So my intent is to start with a light gray, and then from there use that as a shadow for the snow, with a layer of white scar over that. That'll make it all nice and bright, right? So, may as well start with that, I guess. Where'd my... I literally had it right here. Hopefully this pot of Dawnstone isn't too far gone. At the same time, though, this isn't exactly the largest mini ever, so... I have a question. Well, I will probably have an answer for you, Kitsu. Shoot. Yeah, that was a good time to break in one of the new brushes I bought. How long does a jousting match usually last? That is a very good question. One that I don't think I have an actually good answer for. Assuming that it's anything that it was until nightfall.
Yes.
Thanks, Kitsu. You got me with that one. You got me. I was actually going to start going off on a semi-intellectual little rant based off of an old Heath Ledger movie that I really like, but completely walked right into the joke. Joke that is right on the nose. Yep. Hmm. Hmm. And I apologize if I'm just gonna go quiet every now and then with this, because like it's just gonna be me listening to the music as much as anything else.
What are we waiting for?
For it to get tacky.
Well, another first on this show.
How's that?
Well, it's the first time we've had to wait for it to get tacky.
Well, I'm sure you can call it tacky, and might not even be wrong in calling that tacky, but just gotta. Like, you can take your, hello, if you can read this. I can. Who's? How you doing? Finished printing out all the Iron Man helmet. Ooh, sounds interesting. How'd that go? And how's the printer working out for you? When I saw that mini, that the mini you showed me was pretty neat. But I can't wait to hear what this larger project is like. And we use JB Weld to fuse the helmet. Perfect. That's good to hear. And it's good to hear that it's working out well for you. That's a very, from what I've seen, it is a nice printer. All right. Finish getting the light gray on this base coat. Then we'll move on to the snowman, and I suppose also the coat. Although actually no, I'll not do the coat. The coat's going to be white, but they're doing the white over the cream to make it a little bit more brighter. The helmet will stand this weekend. All right. Can't wait to see some more progress on that. What would you call a Batman made out of snow? I don't know, Kitsu. What would you call a Batman made out of snow? Again, nice. Oh, just breaking out the winter puns, I guess. Well, it is supposedly, it's technically a Christmassy stream, so if there was ever a time to break out the winter puns. Yeah. Good amount of luck, we'll be able to get through this mini before I've got to get out of here. And hopefully what I'm planning to do with this gray is going to work out. As the idea is that I use the gray to make a shadow, make a darker shadow layer. So that when the white goes over, you can see a little bit of the depth and texture. It's one to lighten up the mood before my match with Christmas lights. What does Santa say to the cheating wife? Ho, ho, ho. Correct. It's an old joke. Get the gray on the snowman head.
You know, that was almost funny.
They better be careful. They'll spoil a perfect record.
There's more ho-hos for you. Oh, that's a thing. I need to get a grab of Muppets Christmas Carol, actually. Get a few bits of that. So what game announcement made me excited? I'll be perfectly honest. There was nothing in the Game Awards that I was particularly interested in. Okami was probably about the only thing that was actually interesting. But everything else was, well, pretty much just another open world sandbox, pretty generic sort of thing. All right. Plus, at the same time, if they release a trailer for Portal or Half-Life 3, that's another story. I highly doubt they're ever going to release Portal. They're going to make another Portal or Half-Life 3 ever. It's at this point, it's gonna end up being a lot like Star Citizen. And like, even if that game ever does get out to full release, it's never going to match the hype that the years of build-up have. Yeah, like, I don't doubt that whatever it is going to be a thing. Don't doubt that if they did, it wouldn't be exciting, because like it would be a fantastic spin on that. Hang on, let's see if I can get my art to refocus. But they're probably not going to ever do that. Do you eventually airbrush the figure? This one I'm not. Just because, like, I'm not that proficient with my airbrush just yet. Mostly I use my airbrush to put on, like, base coats and primers. But, yeah, like, I'm still getting used to and learning it as much as anything else. But am I going to use my... But do I feel good enough to do my airbrush on something this small? No, not at all. Not yet. Possibly even ever, but who knows? Time will tell. All right, let's actually get the white scar nice and mixed. Then I'll reach over and grab an older brush for some dry brushing. Your Discord exploded when Okami was announced. I can understand that. It's an amazing game. Let's see. I need a bit of towel or tissue for this. older brush. And then work the paint into the bristles. A little bit heavier. I want it to actually be white as opposed. I want the gray to just be an undernote. Wish one day announce a Star Wars game not made by EA. Good luck with that. EA has had the rights for forever. They're not likely to give that up easily. Honestly, for me, and this is probably going to be no surprise to anybody that hangs around for any amount of time, the best part about the Game Awards for me was actually Statler and Waldorf, but the problem being that they were only there for 3 bits. It would have been so much better if they were actually heckling all the stuff, like literally everything. Not just taking the easy shots at the owner guy. It could have been every game. Oh, I know they're owned by Disney, who's... With how all the movies have been, I don't see that happening in the near future. Yeah. I was like, you want the movies to do well. The games, you really kind of want to see the movies, the games to also do well as well, but... Disney just is too far up its own butt. So the Epic took the reins of Star Wars, would probably be another Fortnite. Yeah, probably. I mean, there's enough Star Wars in Fortnite to begin with now also, so... Alright, there's the amount of white I'm actually wanting to get. Just keep building it up. The 3D layered Magic the Gathering card print files. Oh, I'm sure! Have you checked out Thingiverse, Who's? That's a pretty good place to find some free files as well. Maybe you won't. Yeah, please do. It's a decent. It's a nice enough place. A little bit saturated, I will definitely give you. So finding something specific is going to be a little bit difficult. But if you're willing to dig through pages and pages of cool things, then you might be able to find. You'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for. With minimal effort, well, not minimal effort, but Also Maker World helps. Maker. Have I checked out Maker World? That may be something worth my checking out.
Look, there's a bag full of fruits and vegetables up here.
Perchance Statler and Waldorf were thinking of throwing a party.
Well, this much food won't go very far.
Well, they only wanted to throw it as far as the stage.
Oh, for sure.
I think this is working out very well. It's made by Bamboo Labs. Okay. Well, that's the case. Probably there's going to be some really good stuff there. And for your printer, then it's going to be even easier for you to find the stuff that'll work. That... Do you flock the Mini? No, I don't. As a general rule, I don't even base minis. Mostly because they're not, I don't feel it necessary half the time. Plus, if you actually, depending on how you base them, if you base them for your playmat and stuff, and then you take them to someone else's, and it does, and then, like, and depending on what it is, like, you have yours being, like, an urban wreckage, and you have all your minis based that way. But then you have, like, a toxic realm, a toxic planet, or actually... fair amount of my ad mech, actually. This is my Onager Dune Crawler. Is actually based as to be a snowy tundra sandy planet. Note to self, actually magnetize my neutron laser. But I think if I were to paint a 3D Warhammer figure, I'd make it look like a statue with moss. That'd be a very interesting idea. You can absolutely make that look really nice. And the mention of flocking is a good one too. Make that overgrowth look very nice. Do I actually have? I think I actually have used a little bit of flocking before for a previous yeah, actually I do have some terrain flocking that I've used before. But I used it for a very specific mini for a very specific purpose. Have you tried the new Helldivers 2 update? Yes. I played a mission earlier today just to like kill a little bit of time. And it's interesting. Took me a while to figure out how to clear Illuminate camps. But I'm liking it. And heck, as long as it's not crashing like it was before, right? It was like part of the reason why I stopped playing was as much the stupidity that Sony was doing in its marketing as much as it started crashing for me. You want to try to get Buckshot Roulette? That's an interesting game that I've seen too. I actually picked up, a while ago, I picked up Liar's Bar. Of course, as always, there's the eternal thing of you buy games, you don't play them. The Xbox One console cannot play Fortnite anymore due to hardware limitations. Oh, Buckshot Roulette has multiplayer. So does Liar's Bar. Alright, let's get this. Hope that my shadows are. Intention for shadows is working as well as I intended it to. Heard of Liar's Bar. Yeah, it's. Yeah, I know that the game Perudo is not going to mean anything to me, to anyone outside of my family, but it's basically that Liar's Dice scene from the Pirates 2. Writ large. You can show me the beer boars. They have an interesting, and they are an interesting support unit in Blood Bowl 3. Yeah, they are. Being able to get people up off the ground automatically. Likely getting a new VR headset for Christmas, depending on budget. Exciting.
Poor fellow lost his nose.
How will he smell without it?
Same as always. Terrible.
Oh, I love those alerts. This is actually going to be seen as white and not like a dirty white. I just want the gray to come through as a shadow. And I actually think that's doing perfectly. It's doing exactly what I want it to do. Unfortunately, I can't get the... I need to do something about my light. Make it a little bit less intense. I also might be moving to a town about an hour away from the game store this June just because I can't deal with your mother. Ah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That's rough. So possibly not be able to get a job there. Oh yeah, that. You were telling me you wanted it, that you wanted to do that. So again, that's sorry for that. Sorry for you, man. Yeah, I think actually. So let's put the. Oop, there's actually a little spot here that I probably could just also get here. Yeah, it's just a very overprotective. Ah. Yeah, I can see why that's gonna be a bit of an issue. White right in there. That actually does exactly what I wanted to do beautifully, I think. So, I'll leave it at that before I go. And is D&D this weekend? Yes, it is. That's the plan, anyway. And it's actually an interesting thing for me, considering I've got D&D tonight after this stream with a different group. Store gotta have a sign-up sheet? It does! Just so I ask Sean about it. If I get like a bit of... Well, anyway. I'll work on the lighting at some point. Okay, let's see. So, the coat wants it just straight. And the hat is black. What is... The hat is black. The skull on the hat is bone. It's red. All right. And then black coal for the eyes, nose, and teeth. Also like the lemon Oreos bought there. Very good. Yeah, they are very good. Bought a pack when I was covering for Sean a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, they are very good. I too would recommend them. All right. I will be honest. Sark into the D&D session. It was a rough week. That's all good. My principal philosophy for D&D is always and ever going to be life comes first. Like, don't feel like you have to show up to D&D if you really can't. And if you can't, no one is going to judge you. And I totally forgot to make a character. Maybe you should add Popeye quotes to the stream as a reward. Maybe. I mean, chances are, if I'm going to add any other, like, alert stuff, it's probably going to end up being, like, a Looney Tunes. I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit. It's getting a little bit loud. Not to say that Popeye isn't fun. It's like I've enjoyed Popeye on more than one, on plenty of occasions. You know, the studio behind Minecraft is getting sued. They're all... Almost everybody is always getting sued for something or other, who's... But what did Mojang supposedly do?
I think that number raises a pertinent question.
What's that?
Why did they do it?
All right, well, I'll give you that in a moment. Let me just finish unloading this brush so I don't lose the paint. All right. Well then, let's see here. Read. Over not revealing info publicly in their ULA. Alright. Huh. 131 then, huh? Alright, page 131. There it is. Alright. In the category of mail order houses, J.C. Penney was started by James Cash Penney. Not every factoid is particularly interesting, but the more you know. Yeah. About Mojang banning firearms from public servers. There's a random YouTuber suing Mojang. Ah. That explains things. Mojang never updated the EULA and still has to require firearms to not be allowed. A classic. I can't imagine that particular lawsuit going anywhere. Many servers have been affected from this. It's like, yeah, I really can't. But that's the thing. How does Minecraft and Mojang intend to affect that when there are so many public modded servers that technically don't fall under their EULA? They shut them down. Alright, I suppose that's fair. But I'm honestly more willing to bet that that's less Mojang than Microsoft. Considering before their acquisition, Mojang was like so incredibly pro-mod that when Microsoft bought them, they couldn't get rid of it. But of course, it's entirely speculation on my part. And servers must use the EULA. It's part of the user agreement, either or. Still, this lawsuit has raised over 100 grand. A publicity-raised lawsuit? Or just publicly? Snowballs. Publicly. Alright. A Reddit dude wanted to open a server on Minecraft with guns, and Mojang literally said no. Well, there's another thing for you. If they asked Mojang specifically, that's another matter entirely. Alright, anything more? Well, I suppose I actually can do the candy cane. Nah, don't throw the snowman head. One reason it got this... Because the policy, the whole reason I got this far is not about the firearms, it's about the not publicly showing information on their policy. The policy is not applied anywhere, not even in the EULA. The EULA is supposed to have that policy, but it doesn't. Yep, sounds rough, alright. So we'll hit that with some red later. Anything more? Actually, let's put some white in the clock face. And under EU laws, it's illegal. Fascinates you how quickly the money is raised. You underestimate the internet, dude. People didn't expect a particular UK exploration vessel to be called when they put it to a internet poll to name it. The poll went to win as to call the ship Boaty McBoatface. Never underestimate the insanity of the internet and people who have too much time on their hands. Guessing how. Oh, what is the mini? It is the Red Gobbo's Abominable Snowman. All right, let's see. We've gotten this far. Don't think we'll need the gray. Still need lead belcher. That's going to be coming up close. Brown for the sticks. Red. Contrast black. Gotta go, and that's cool. Well, I'm glad you were here for how long you were, Who's. Hope to see you around. Have a good rest of your night. Oh, there's a few more bits of white on the coat that I missed. All right. Hmm. Do, do. Mm. All right. Should probably do the green next. The green is going to be the most tricky part to get into in a lot of places. Alright, so we'll start with a base of Caliban green to get the proper base on a green skin. Then we'll layer that with Warpstone Glow. Maybe I'll do a little bit of mixing of some other colors to get something else for it. Bring back the white. It is definitely a deep dark green, Caliban. That's something in his teeth? I guess it is. It's a grenade pen. Makes sense. Oh, good. Yep. I apparently have a resident bug friend here that's been hanging around for a while. Okay, so I was looking at the EULA, and it's veg, but I found why the lawsuit will fail. Some blanket wording in there saying something about that Mojang and Microsoft maintain the ability to change the EULA at a moment's notice. To keep the Minecraft community welcome and inclusive, we have a zero-tolerance policy towards hate speech, terrorist, or violent extremist content, bullying, harassing, sexual, soliciting, fraud, or threatening others. Yep, pretty blanket. It's understandable if unfortunate. But Minecraft, Mojang, and Microsoft do have the right and responsibility to protect their IP as the way they see fit, so... Alright. That's that. And if I remember from what lawyers say, guns do fall under stuff. Yeah, time to put. Well, hope to see you around. Hope to see you around, Getsu. I'm probably gonna be going for about another hour and hour 15, hour and a half myself. So
The older I get, the more I appreciate good music.
Yeah, what's that got to do with what we just heard?
Nothing, just thought I'd mention it.
yeah. So if you want to keep me on in the background, feel free to, or but whatever. Either way, good luck at your game, Kitsu. Hope you enjoy yourself, at least. I'm gonna get a smaller brush. We actually have like a green shade paint. Well, I have green shade actually. That could probably be useful. I was meant to say contrast. Worth a bit to go a dig. I think I do, but let's see. And I've got my super nuclear green tesseract glow, but... Oh, purple, gray, yellow, red, brown, blue, turquoise. Yeah, no, I do not have any green contrasts, so I'll just use that. I suppose Croxagore scales technically is greenish. I'm gonna use that one. That is a color I can get behind. And it's definitely an elfic green I can get behind. Give him a slightly darker mantle so we don't have to be so persnickety about the blending. He says as he goes, persnickety about the blending.
Yeah, this show is good for what ails me.
Yeah? Well, what ails you?
Insomnia.
Okay, well. Let's see. Can I get the camera to zoom in properly? That doesn't look half bad. Once I get some highlights on the skin. Forgot that my opponent is in mountain time. Uh-oh. So what, are you an hour early or an hour late? And if you're... So actually, no, you would be an hour early. So yeah. We've all been there, haven't we? Alright, so let's actually get the warpstone glow out now. It was 8:30, which is 10:40. Oh, yeah. Well, then. Sounds like a reason to hang around for a while yet. Just brighten up the far too dark green with some warpstone glow. Focusing on sharp edges and where they can catch the light. That just really shows how much I've improved on this. There would have been a time when I wouldn't have done much highlighting at all. Man, that really brings out... Like, I know you can't necessarily see it, but I can definitely see the difference. And I will absolutely be taking some actual pictures of these later. Pichikun is going to see the War of the Rohirrim tonight. And so I guess after this match, I'll try to fix my schedule, even though there really isn't a reason since I don't work. And do what you can. The fuck is this?
What are we waiting for?
For it to get tacky.
Well, another first on this show.
How's that?
Well, it's the first time we've had to wait for it to get tacky.
Ah. Also looks like I got a Discord friend request from another what is it? Stream art. No, stream art. What's the proper way of putting this? Production art? Production artist? Like the last few times I've actually been approached by that art bot. I don't know about art bot. That's probably a good way of putting it. Uh, yeah. Anyway, point being, this isn't the first. Like, I'm sure you've gotten a few of them too, right? Right. People putting out like effectively cold calls for stream assets. Relax over here. See if I can get like a better view of the backside. There's really not a better view of the backside. So for anything, I technically don't even need that. So if I don't need it, I'm probably not going to add it, but... Alright, let's actually use this Croxagore scale so that since I have it out. Let's see. There's definitely some lead belcher that needs to be used. Arguments can be made for gold and brass. The ends of this I'm going to hit with the chaos, the black Templar contrast. Yeah, the ends of the stick hands, the hat, the snowman's face, and all the coal details. I know them, they're the ones who would advertise themselves, and if you say no, they will push by trying to heckle you and then be like, here's a link to my website. I actually haven't seen anybody try to do that hard. I mean, heck, the one time I actually was like, sorry, I'm not interested right now, but I'm not interested in, like, what's the word? In actually purchasing anything right now, but I would love to see, like, a portfolio as, in case I was ever one, and then I never heard back from him again. So who knows? Go gold for the highlight stuff, brass for the brass and lead belcher for the more what's the word? Dang it. Good words, they fail me. Practical metals. Right, let's actually hit the... Yeah, I had one UDM me who acted all human with like saying how they like my stuff on Twitch and I would hire them for a 3D model and was like, I'm interested, but I'm on the market for one, and they came back with that's okay. But for you, I have a special discount. Here's my website if you want to see my art. I haven't. Well, all right then. Yeah. And to a certain extent, I can't exactly blame them for trying. I'll say sometimes cold calls work. I'm loving that, actually. I really am. Right. After that, and panicking because I actually clicked on the link, finding out from others those type of blogs actually exist. Then I turned all DMs off unless from friends. So the figure's looking really good. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turning out right now. I mean, fortunately, there's also not that many colors. So I can just go right off. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep the black back because I want to do this pants. I'm gonna do the Red Gobbo's pants and boots with this. So gave you the meme where my Batman joke came from. Okay, cool, thank you.
I think that number raises a pertinent question.
What's that?
Why did they do it?
All right, I'll give you that when I put this brush down next. That shouldn't be too long. Do want to make sure I'm not leaving too many splotches, because contrasts can be a little bit persnickety. Hit the bottom side of his foot with a little bit of that lead belcher to get those snow spikes right. Right, come here, come here, come here. Get in there. Sure, it's all shadowed nicely. There. Make the pants a bit more gray, the boots a bit more black. Absolutely perfect use for this contrast paint. All right, let's. All right. Close up the contrast paint. Ha! That is a very funny. It's a very funny meme. That's all right. In the category of spitters, spitballs were made illegal in 1920, except for the 16 pitchers who were already throwing them, who could continue to do so until they retired. There you go. Bit of baseball for you. All right, let's see. A little brass on that with a little gold star. Red Belcher on the grenades. Red Belcher on a little bit of brass with the grenades. Red, obviously, for the Gobbo's coat, which would be the principal thing. Lead Belcher around the top of the snow bomb and the that. Hit the teeth with a bit of white. Shoot. Pick out a couple of the details on this guy as well. Little red and black in here on the little alarm clock. Some brass, perhaps. Lead Belcher. This is a surprisingly good and easy model. Let's see. I need to put a little bit of red on the hat and stripe the candy cane. I'll grab out the Agrex Earthshade and give the hat on the skull a good bit of bone look. But the sash also wants to get red as well. Grab back the white scar too. I might want that a little bit. Back. Don't need that. Still want you. Don't really need you anymore. Care for you. Keep you around for things, perhaps. The brown is just for the sticks. Alright. What color should I make the Elf Gobbo's boots? His little shoesies. I'm half a mind to make them yellow. You do like yellow or stick with this brown. Just want to try and get me a Blood Angels patrol box. Nice. Hey, if you can find one of the new ones, that's great. Let's actually get the... Oh. Now, the next big one really should be the red. Base brush back out.
Yeah.
Actually, let's get the smaller one out. Not you, Mr. Used for dry brush. Imagine the Gobbo walking up to an orc wearing purple shoes. You've made your point. So do I do it with shade, contrast, or paint? By which I mean the difference between, I'm sure you know the difference, right? Shade paint, contrast paint, or like the regular paint. Because I got purple in all three. I think shade might work. All right, Druchii Violet it is. I'll go digging for that in a little bit. And the playlist is circled back around to Ave Maria. I just click accidentally. Nothing from the looks of it. All right. I'll touch that up a little bit, I guess. Might want to go into the red shade that I have as 2, just to go into the deep recesses a little bit. Red shade, contrast. Try to get a bit of that same shadowing effect that I tried to get in the snow. Like that Facebook video where an orc is sitting painting their bike, saying, "I know my bike." And very, very depressed, and the bike disappears and it zooms in on his face. He's like, "Where my bike?" That's great. He's painting his bike purple. Yeah. You know, to an extent, there's a question for that. If painting things purple to the orcs makes them invisible, how then can they see the purple paint in which to paint their bikes purple to be invisible if the purple paint themselves would also be invisible? The answer is don't think about it. Definitely need to touch that up. I mean, it is a good question. But again, it's kind of what you was applying Ilmi thinking to orc thinking. You don't apply Ilmi thinking to orc thinking. It ain't orc thinking. All right. And now the hat. If and that's what you's calling human thinking. Orcs is no humans don't think. He's not smart like us orcs is. He ain't clever. What's funny is that I'm kind of surprised no one ever thought of setting the Hawk Lords after the orcs. Oh God! Oi, Zogs, I think them human beakies done be learning. What you mean, people? What you mean, purple? You mean purple beakies? You ain't ever seen a purple beaky? That cause purple beakies don't exist. And then one of the weird boys comes up and says, or maybe he's invisible. Now, what you be thinking that them beakies being invisible, Lord? You try to make her believe that humans are starting to think like orcs. Don't applaud orc thinking that humans, it's just a bad idea. Alright, let's see. Star on the elf is red. We'll go in there with a little bit more of the wraith bone and clean up the interiors of that. Although in the Hawk Lords are more of an Air Force in 40k if you think about it. Also, I suppose that's true too. Oh, no, and you still need the red. Still need the red. I got some stripities to make. Always will use drop pods. They bring the Thunderhawks to drop their troops. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's less impressive than a Thunderhawk, but than a drop pod. But certainly more precise. Like the clones in Clone Wars, yeah. Alright, let's actually get back white a little bit again. Some touch-ups I need to finish before I go any further. Some nice sharp lines. There we go. Alright.
More! No, not so loud. They may hear you.
Hey there, memes. How you doing, sir? Ooh, I can do some red on this one, actually. Still thinking about it. Hey, Bald Ross. Ha! That's a good one. That's actually really good. Doing okay, actually. Just making our way through this Red Gobbo. We might even be able to finish it by the time I want to be done. Assuming I don't get super bogged down, but... Oh, who am I kidding? I will be. Snoot Sunday, yes, yes. Yes, yes, Snoot Sunday. Right now, my general plan is to start from the beginning again and sort of blitz through the stuff we've already seen, find those things we haven't, see them, and see what some of the other see if we can get through most of the endings that way. Chikun and I are thinking of the Salamander's armor in the Space Marine 2 might be Assault only because of Vulcan, and also the fact that Assault uses hammers. I could see that. Which ending were you wanting to do next? 4, 2, or 1? I was almost thinking about maybe doing them in order from lowest to highest. That way we can end on a positive note. Assuming we don't completely depress ourselves. Dark Angels DLC is Bulwark only. Oh, really? And that'll be good. This side's not going to get seen at all, so I don't worry over much. Ending 2 is the shortest, so 2, 1, 4. Sure, we can do that. So you, like, if I remember correctly, you said that 4 was sweet, 3 is bittersweet, which is the one we got. 2 is bitter, and 1 is... I forget how you described it. I need it. Bland and boring. Ah, okay. Seraphim Sepia. Actually, that might be good for the bone. And while I'm in here, I need to find my... that's Caraburg Crimson. That's more of a red purple. There it is. Druky Violet. Yeah. Do this first. To get that yellowed bone look. Alright. And that's the not customizable Dark Angel's armor. The new Dark Angel stuff added that you can add to other classes. Oh, cool. But if you want the Dark Angel helmet with wings, you have to play Bulwark. Okay. I'll be honest, that's actually a pretty decent look. You can still color them, right? No. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. If it's Dark Angel's exclusive stuff, then it makes sense that you wouldn't be able to color them up. Back to work for me. See ya. Well, thanks for sticking around, for stopping by, memes. Hope to see you around later. Alright, Kitsu, there's his purple shoes. Gotta say, I really kind of like that. Alright, let's see, 9:20. Now let's get through what we can. Almost done.
Yeah.
Alright. I mean, who am I kidding? Like, I know I said that that I've got D&D this evening, which I do. But here's a funny thing: my group is based mostly out of Washington State, right? So they say, okay, we're gonna start at 7, which means I start at 10. So theoretically, I've got about 30 minutes. But considering that I'm sure they're not here and watching, we're probably not going to be starting for about another hour and a half anyway. You can't even tell if they are purple. Oh yeah, no, it's almost like he's wearing nothing at all. Stupid, sexy Smith Flanders. I don't even watch or really even like The Simpsons. Doesn't stop cultural osmosis from being a thing. Cultural osmosis and the internet just in general. All right, that's that. Let's see. That's heavy. Actually, use the. Oh, I completely missed an ear. This whole part's supposed to be green. Yeah, Azure Lane is making questionable things and keeps making think if we will ever get Yamato. Maybe they're just holding her back for a specific release. Let's get the brass out. Actually, I should get the green out. Yeah, I should fix the part of the green that I didn't get. I had a feel that Yamato and Azure Lane is kind of like the Empress of the Sakura Empire, because every time one of the Sakurian ship girls say that she has a message from Yamato, she gets possessed by her to talk to them herself. Huh. That just sounds like an even better reason to hold her back for something super special. Alright, let's see what brass is going to come up next after this. Well, I would have had to dry, actually. So, yeah, brass. Alright, that looks good. Alright, let's go after a few more bits and bobs.
Well, shall we call it a night?
Might as well. Certainly wouldn't call it a show.
Alright, let's actually make the... Matt, come here. Stay in my hand. I need to paint you. There we go. Oh, wait. Actually, let's also do the... There we go. Here, a little bit more brush. Well, sans the teeth, he's just about done. So last night you found something interesting. Oh, really? Do tell. Actually, let's use the brass on that one tooth. That would be a... Do you know that Fatal Frame Made 'em of Black Water was made using the Dead or Alive 5 engine? No, I didn't. Can't even say that I knew what Maiden of Black Water was. I mean, I know of Fatal Frame. Oh, it's red on the... Well, look at the red was going to give out the candy cane anyway, so what am I complaining about? The last thing I knew about Dark Water was Pirates of Dark Water, which was a weird Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Alright, let's go next over here. Well, that's pretty cool, though. It's always nice seeing nice seeing what games can be made in other games as engines. Maiden of Black Water is the 5th game in the Fatal Frame and is said to be one of the horniest. Aha! Well, that makes sense then for it being made in Dead or Alive. Or at the very least, why you would use that engine. It's like, ooh, behold the spooky jiggle physics! Alright, let's get the black back out. What was I gonna do with the black? Oh yeah, that and... Oh yeah, and the hands of the clock. Yeah. More of the fact of jiggle physics in some of the stages literally raining, and the more wet the characters' clothes are, the more aggressive the ghosts are. Aha! This is why you don't give ghosts a chance. That is definitely an understandable mechanic feature. There we go. For all intents and purposes, the snowman's body is done. Which means I need to pull out my glues. I think my other glue is elsewhere. Oh, that's what I was also going to do. Thing I do about Fatal... The thing that I like to do about Fatal Frame is that I look at the stuff that makes the game devs tick. For like example, Maiden of Black Water, Mount Hakami was once worshipped as a sacred place with a unique religion was taught. The water of this mountain is believed to house spirits, and there is a teaching from this region that humans are born from water and return to it at the end of their lives. Alright? As a result, people looking for death come to this mountain and experience the last moments while they come in contact with the mountain's water. They believe this is the proper way to end their lives. Huh. Very interesting, actually. And having a water-centric belief system like that is definitely interesting. Considering most Western belief systems are of the dust to dust, ashes to ashes variety. More earth and fire. Let's actually really dampen my brush for this one. There we go. Now we got a gray smoke effect on that bomb. So yeah, religion is a big focal point of why things happen. Fatal Frame, religion, mythology. So it's pretty much true about anything, necessarily. It's just human nature, frankly. Get the warpstone glow back out. Now that the ear has sufficiently dried. Like I said, come back here and get some highlights on it. There we go. All right. Right, well, let's go back to red really quick, do some touch-ups with that. Grab you. I'll finish going around the outside of this. Make that nice and smooth. Candy cane. And all you have for your protection in Fatal Frame is a camera called the Camera Obscura. Oh yeah. I find Fatal Frame to be a very interesting series. It's not one I've played. I mean, me, playing a horror game, that's fairly out of character for me. But what I've seen of Fatal Frame, it's a very interesting game, and the story is very intriguing. Or rather, story, not premise, is intriguing at least. I'm saying nothing about the story because I don't know what the story is outside of Ghost's camera. All right, let's see. Now we got that done. Now the gold. So close. Hmm. A gold cord, I guess. All right. So let's see. Still want the brass. I need the white for one thing. This red and this blue. And then we can pretty much all glue it together. Brass for one last thing. Bet you didn't think he was going to be wearing glasses, did you? Alright, so that dries. While that dries, I prep the rest of it with white. Okay, that white's done. Oh, before I forget, that also needs a little bit. Let me get the gold back out. This is always the way it happens, isn't it? You're this close to being done, and it's just a mad dash and scramble to find all the things you have or haven't missed. Alright, got that one caught before I forgot it. Nothing else? Oh yeah. There is one that I wanted to hit with a different color contrast. Also, look, there's a few lights on here as well to pick out a few on. That. Red. Little red goblin eyes. And since I said I was going to, I'm also going to do it here. Some recessed shadows of red contrast paint. Get a little bit of extra depth in the coat. finally do.
That was an amazing mess of mediocre mediocrity.
You can say that again.
Wanna bet?
You got it, Kitsu! You got the missing one. All right, I'm just gonna step away for a hot second. I'm gonna grab my plastic glue. All right. Now, some of these I'm gonna want to super glue, but actually, I could probably just put a button of super glue right here. And that should hold Mr. Snowman perfectly. And the rest should probably be done. Ooh, there's actually one bit of here that I want to get with the black before I forget. Oh, wait, or actually, no, let's do it with the red. Let's do it with the red. Some nice contrast. I should head you on my list of Othed ship girls in Azure Lane. That. Then comes the cement. I apply into the area. And try to plant the clock, which I managed to do successfully. Need one of my knives, actually, for this next part. My dumbass didn't properly prep the area before priming. I need to remove some of the paint. Get down to the bare plastic. Oathed. Sorry, English is something. English is indeed something. And me being unfamiliar with it, I'm just assuming that what I'm reading is right, so... Anyway. So now I get more of the cement, put it into there, and actually finish assembling the Red Gobbo. Come on, get in there. There you are. We put down our little goblin elf friend. All right, and for all intents and purposes, oath as in putting a ring on someone. Aha! All right. All right, so final question. Probably should have done this a bit before. What should I do the ring about? Should I just make the ring white? Like the rim? Or do we follow through on that idea of oath and just make it gold? Kind of like the idea of gold, actually. I really kind of like the idea of gold. Yeah. And ashen gray are probably gold. All right, let's go with the gold then. I like... I'm not simply saying that because I'm already shaking the gold. And we discard PFP profiles from Azure Lane. Makes sense. If you like it, you don't... Whoa, hello. Heirs of Noshiro. I'm not sure what that notation is, actually. Lambda? Mu. Okay. I knew it was one of those Greek letters. Oh no. Don't you say all right, then you immediately see something that you need to fix? Or muse. Aha! Man. Am I going to need to... I probably might want to put a varnish over this. Greek for music. Aha! And then we put the snowman head unglued. All right, now then, need to grab my photo kit. Keep a little alligator clip beneath my webcam. Yeah. Changes in light are necessary. No, they certainly are. Where? It's gonna be easier to get at. You're a plug. You a speed plug. Gave you a picture. Thank you. Yeah. Turn that up. That doesn't actually help me, does it? Use. Screw you. Just want to get my flashlight. You... All right. Turn that on. Turn that off. There we go. White light. Then back to camera mode. All right. And with that, I'm gonna actually turn this off, because that's causing a problem on my camera. Well, that's still you, a person. Ooh, that's a nice design, all right. Yeah. All right, so about another 15 minutes, I guess. All right, actually, this gives me time enough to pull out one more tool. Maybe I can get to work. Had this for a while. Haven't quite gotten it to be super duper useful as yet. But, you know, first time for everything, right? Picture of her idle look. How about a picture of her active look? Nope, that's plus. There we go. Hey, Marathi, you wanna go back up there for a moment? Thank you. All right. And with that, I'm gonna throw these things onto here. Hey,
never
Zio!
know. It's like a kind of torture to have to watch
We
the
kind of
show.
came at an odd time here. We're actually kind of getting finished, but yeah, as soon as I post these up, I'll show you what the full thing is. All right, and now that I have those on the Discord, eventually, there's one that's still waiting, apparently. Why is it not on the Discord? Well, anyway. Hopefully these are slightly better, but let's go over to React. All right. So I need to go to... So I want to change window capture. There we go. Just move this over here. So yeah, this is... I think this went out very well. What do you guys think? Definitely looks better off of this camera than my webcams, that's for sure. Plenty of stuff that I could have done better. I was like certainly around the Gobbo's face. Could definitely definitely fill in his teeth a bit better. Touch up his fingers. There's some spots on his coat that I rubbed off accidentally. Still funny that you actually can't notice until someone says anything that the shoes are purple. That is very true. You don't really notice until you... Honestly, like the way starting with the gray on the under the white, I think was, I don't necessarily want to say a stroke of genius, but it absolutely does what I wanted it to do. You can definitely see the depth and texture in the snowman. Yeah, I definitely want to hit up his shoulder, his mouth a little bit. But I'd say for 3 hours of work, this was remarkably good. I just say as I habitually sell myself short. And I also didn't do the spurs on the back of his feet. So do that. Oh, hang on. Maybe retouch the shoes a touch with the purple. I think I may have rubbed that off a little bit wrong too. But yeah, I think this came out tremendously well. Well, I think with that, I should probably be getting ready to go to Dungeons and Dragons with my other friend group, but this has been a fun thing. A couple of small things to touch up, but overall, I'm glad I did this. Glad I got around it. And glad I actually did it before Christmas, too. Who knows, I might actually post this on my YouTube as well. This has been a fun time. Going for just about 3 hours exactly, too, so... Alright, so I guess that's her active as opposed to idle form. Dumb joke that I made twice, but I'm a dumb guy, so... Also a good design as well. And still no one has showed up by the Dungeons & Dragons channel. That's neat. Well. If that's the case, it's probably a good time to get moving. So yeah. Even if it was mostly Kitsu, well, thank you all for hanging around, chatting, being all around cool dudes. You have fun as I get tortured by dwarves. I'm gonna be tortured by my friends playing D&D, so you and me both, Kitsu. So to all of you all of you still watching, thank you again. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day, all. I think I might actually decide to have the Christmas music be the thing here. Or not, because it's just stopped right there. So here, have this then. And as he said with a shout as they rode through the night, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.